Hello folks, this is Joe Samo from San Diego. This one gave my students a little bit of grief, so let's do it together. We have here a big right triangle. Alright, so there we go. We have our right triangle. This little segment is 9. This segment is 16. And they gave us just this one as a right angle, but obviously if that's a right angle, then that's a right angle, since both angles have to add up to 180. So what we have here is we have 3 lines. We'll call this one X. We'll call this down here Y. We'll call this one up here Z. And then they gave us that this is a right angle down there. What you'll notice real quick is that we have 3 triangles. 3 right triangles. That's 1. That's 2. And the whole thing is 3. We need those sides because we want to get the area. The area is 1/2 of the base, which here is side Y, times the height, which here is side X. So we need to get X and Y so that we can get the area of the triangle. Now, since we have 3 right triangles, we just do since we have 3 right triangles, Since we have 3 right triangles, we just do the Pythagorean theorem. We can do x squared plus y squared equals the hypotenuse, which is 9 plus 16, which would be 25 squared. And if you use a calculator, that is 625. So we got x squared plus y squared equals 625. That's our first right triangle. Then in the second one, this one here on the bottom, that one, if you look at that one, we would get over there the hypotenuse is y. So you would have z squared plus 16 squared equals y squared. Okay, and then 16 squared is 256. So you get z squared plus 256 equals y squared. That's the second equation. And then let's go to that triangle, that one up there, that big one. Over there, the hypotenuse there is x. So we would have z squared plus 9 squared, which is 81. That's 9 squared, equals x squared. So now we have 1, 2, 3 equations, and we have 3 unknowns. Ordinarily, we could solve this. And then there's always a few ways to do this. But if you look at this, we get y squared, and then we get x squared. So if we were to add y squared and x squared, we know the answer, it would be 625. So here we go, we got x squared plus y squared equals 625. And then we know what x squared equals. Let's use a better color. We know x squared equals z squared plus 81. That's what x squared equals. Then we know what y squared equals. If we go to that number 2, it's z squared plus 256. And all of this has to equal 625. And then we have a z squared and a z squared, which would then be 2z squared, plus we have 81 and 256. That is 337, and all of that equals 625. Then we just subtract 337 from each side. So then up here we would have 2z squared equals 625 minus 337 is 228. And then we just divide each side by 2. So we would get z squared equals 144. And then there we go. So z equals 12, right? Because 144, square root of 144 is 12. So here we go. So z equals 12. And then at this point, we could kind of solve it all out. Let's start with that triangle up there. We have 9, 12, and the hypotenuse is x. So obviously that is a 3-4 triangle. So it's a 3-4-5 triangle, right? Because 3 squared is 9, 4 squared is 16, and 5 squared is 25, and 9 plus 16 equals 5 squared. So that would be 9, 12, and 15. So x is then 15. And then on this triangle over here, similar concept, we have 12, 16. So again, we have just a different ratio of a 3-4-5 triangle. So we have 12, 16, and then y would then be 20. All right, so there you go. So x is 15, y is 20. All right, so now the area is 1/2 of the base, which is 20, times the height, which is 15. and then this can simplify to 10. So it's 10 times 15, that equals 150, and that's the answer. The area is 150. That's the way to do that. It looks like a lot of calculations, but it's really not. It's just kind of, I slowed it down to show everything. If you want to keep getting better at these, hit this link right here and keep on practicing. I promise you will get better.